Hey guys, follow along as I install the Acuva Arrowmax 2.0 with Smart Faucet on our boat. A link to the product is in the description box below. It's a rainy day on the boat, so it's a great day to work on a project that I've been wanting to do for a little while. And this project is going to help us eliminate the use of bottled water or carrying water to the boat and utilize the water that's already in our holding tanks to be suitable for drinking water, at least make us feel comfortable that it's suitable. The system I'm putting in place today is going to not only filter the water, but it's also going to do a UV light treatment to it that's supposed to kill harmful bacteria. And it's going to come through a separate tap that we're going to put on the sink. So basically a new tap that will be for drinking and cooking only. So what the system is comprised of is a pre-filter, which is pretty much a standard carbon filter to eliminate taste, odor, big particles and stuff. But then the next thing that it goes through is the actual UV light curing system right before it actually goes to the Smart Faucet that is going to be a new addition to our galley kitchen area. So the project today involves running wiring. So the other thing that I need to do is take the T-fitting that they had sent me with the kit, and it doesn't work with the hoses that we have, so I went to the local hardware store and bought a lot of little pieces to try to make it work, at least get it up and running today, and then I can go back a little bit later on and find actual plastic fittings if necessary. But yeah, so that's going to be the project today. And as the rain is coming down harder now, it's a perfect thing to be doing. Step one in the process, I actually added two new wires. This one here and this one to my terminal block so that I could actually power the UV source. I'm putting the flex cable connector on the wires that are going to be run through the boat, which is you can see here, and then I've already tested it out, but once I put a fuse in here, that will actually it'll complete the circuit and allow me to have power running through the black and red. But until I get done, I'm going to keep the fuse out and then just have the fuse be the last thing that I install. So next step will be to try to run my protected wires down. Just running the wire through using the cover for wire protector, and actually have an area under here that they've actually run a lot of wire through. Seems to be a common place for it. So I'm able to run this stuff through under here. Let's see, where's the end of this? I think I have more wire than I actually need. However, it's cheap enough, and I don't have a wire stretcher. So if I have to cut the wire later on, I could definitely do that. So I'll end up tie wrapping all this stuff together. That's made it through there. And then now keep going with the puzzle. Might have to get dirty and on the floor, but hopefully I can do this all from above. Ah, perfect. I see where it goes. So it's going to come underneath here. This is easy. Imagine that, a boat project, and somebody says this is easy. That means there's something going to go wrong for sure. I think what I can do now is I can feed it up underneath here and get underneath the kitchen sink, and then that's going to be where the wires have to connect. Seems pretty simple. Hopefully I can grab it from the other side and just pull it on through. And here's my wires. Alright, perfect. And then up underneath here is where we'll be putting the pre-filter and the UV curing thing. It'll be hooked up to 12 volts DC, and it seems like a simple thing. Something's got to go wrong. The electrical connections are complete. They need to be tidied up just a little bit, but they are complete. They do work. And then the next step that I have to do with all of this stuff is figure out where everything goes. So I did have to create this concoction of some fittings. It's not a straight, nice little T fitting, but this connects to our existing water line that's up underneath here. It's a quick connect 15 millimeter, and then this will be coming off of this will be the tubing that feeds the actual water filtration. So it's a 1/4 inch tubing coming off, and this actually goes back to the main water faucet. So we'll be able to run regular water, hot and cold, through the faucet, but then have the drinking water supplied coming out of this separately. The hard part now, or the next, not hard part, but figuring out where everything goes. So this filter is going to fit up in here somehow. This is the actual UV, so I need to feed from the filter into the UV, and I'm not sure. I would love to be able to get it mounted right in here like this, or perhaps actually upside down, so that that I could feed the lines in, and then the inline would go in, the outline would go straight up to the new faucet that's going to be in there. That's the next step. The project for installing our water filtration system is done, and up underneath the cabinet here, the blue line actually has the incoming cold water, and we tee off of that to go into our filter that's tucked up. The pre-filter is tucked up away right there, and then that pre-filter goes into the Acuva system, which is actually mounted upside down. And then it actually all comes up to the top here, where we have a new sink faucet, and it's smaller than the regular faucet. And the interesting thing is, when you turn it on, it's running water, the blue light comes on, showing that the UV power is on and is sterilizing the water. And that is actually our drinking water. Well, the water sterilization system that job is now complete, and midway through that job I thought it was going to be really easy, and things were going along just too well, and so something definitely had to go wrong, and it sure enough did. So one of the issues that I had was just the fittings underneath weren't compatible with some of the pre-existing fittings, so it required like 3 trips back to the hardware store. Finally came up with a solution that works for now and don't have any leaks underneath, but it was definitely a good undertaking. I'd recommend other people to try it out, to do it. What we ended up with was, a system which we have water coming out of our tap, coming from the holding tanks, that is now sterilized water. We haven't done the taste test yet, but I think it's going to be as good as bottled water. And
is it good?
No taste, no odor, and so yeah, it seems like it's pretty good. Seems like it's done the trick, but it definitely took longer than I thought it would. Started off pretty easy. Things kept going along, clicking, and I said, hey, I'm going to be done in 30 minutes, and then a few hours later, I got done with the project after fixing all the little tiny leaks underneath.